Assemble!
Life can be bright in America.
If you can fight in America.
Life is alright in America.
If you're all white in America.
Welcome to 7 o'clock Channel 3 News with Rachel Dominguez Gonzalez, Karina Fernando Alvarez Dager, and Lauren Barlotta.
The next story is about Cuba and the Platinum. You know what, Rachel? Why don't you read this one?
Is it because I'm Spanish?
Just read it.
It is the year 1901, and our U.S. troops are still in Cuba. They went there during the Spanish-American War, but some of them are still there even though the war has ended. The Platt Amendment was formulated by the American Secretary of State. The Platt Amendment was formulated by the American Secretary of State. The U.S. Senate passed the amendment by a vote of 43 to 20. At first, it was rejected by the Cuban Assembly and then was later accepted with a vote of 16 to 11. What does this amendment do? Well, it lets the U.S. intervene in the Cuban affairs when the United States sees that it is necessary. It also states that Cuba has no power to give or transfer land to any country, only America. It also authorizes that Cuba will not contract any foreign debt without guarantees that the interest payments could be met from ordinary revenue. The Platt Amendment restricts Cuba in the conduct of foreign policy and commercial relations. We'll see what happens to this amendment in the future.
Our next story is covered by Connor Bradley.
Hi, I'm Connor Bradley reporting for Channel 3 News in France. It is June 28, 1919, and the Great War has ended. The Treaty of Versailles has been signed. The treaty creates a League of Nations in hopes that nothing like this will ever happen again. Although the two sides have not fought since November 11, 1918, the Treaty of Versailles marks the end of the Paris Peace Conference. The treaty states that Germany must take all responsibility for the war and pay reparations. We, the United States, do not want Germany to be punished as badly because we want to trade with them more often. But Germany also lost a number of territories and colonies. The total casualties in the war were 11,016,000, and the U.S. lost 137 people. The total cost of the war was $196.5 billion. What do you do? The war is over. Back to you guys.
Bees knees.
Bees knees.
Bees knees.
Bees knees.
Why did we hire
Bees knees.
Our next story is about the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire. On March 25th, 1911, a great fire broke out in New York City at the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. The factory is located in the Ash Building. That afternoon at 4:40 p.m., as many people were getting ready to leave their shift as a factory, a small fire was started on the 8th floor around the cutter's table station. It is believed that one of the men was smoking a cigarette, even though smoking was not allowed in the factory. They think that a match or the butt of a cigarette fell in a scrap bin, and that is how the fire started. The fire caught the place very quickly and started to travel up to the 9th and 10th floor, which was the last floor where the owners and secretaries worked.
Many women and a few men that worked there were trapped in the building. There were 2 staircases on each level, but they were blocked by guards during the day and were locked so that no one would leave when they were supposed to be working. When the guards fled from the fire, workers tried to use the doors, but they were still locked. Therefore, the elevators were constantly jammed with people trying to escape the fires fast. Some couldn't wait for the elevator and tried using the fire escapes, but the fire escapes hadn't been checked for their safety in a long time because it was expensive to do so and the company did not want to lose any money. So they broke and fell all the way to the ground. After that, everyone just started to jump out the window, none of them making it alive. Those who waited too long by the window came down like a flying torch.
Another problem that caused even more deaths was because the factory just got those new machines that could help all the different floors communicate. And on this day, the machine was not working. So the 8th floor could not warn the 9th or the 10th floor. On the 10th floor were the owners Max Blanc and Isaac Harris, and their children were invited to visit that same day too. When the fire reached the floor, they hurried to the roof of the building. There was another building very close, and they were able to get into that building. Other survivors were able to get to the roof by the roof staircase called Green Street Stairway. That also led to Green Street, but it was quickly unusable because of the fire.
146 garment workers, mostly of which were women, died in this accident, either because of the fire or because of the deathly fall to the ground. There were 500 workers that worked 9 hours a day all week and Saturday too. A majority of them were immigrant women like myself.
Illegal immigrants.
Wow, what a tragedy. Our next story is covered by Petra Kovacs. What's going on, Petra?
It is the year 1901 and our U.S. troops are still in Cuba. They went there during the Spanish-American War, but some of them are still there even though the war has ended. The plot amendment was formulated by the American Secretary of State. The U.S. Senate passed the amendment by a vote 43 to 20. At first it was rejected by the Cuban Assembly and then was later accepted with a vote of 16 to 11. What does this amendment do? Well, it lets the U.S. intervene in the Cuban affairs when the United States sees that it is necessary. It also states that Cuba has no power to give or transfer land to any country, only America. It also authorizes that Cuba will contract any foreign debt without guarantees that the interest payments could be met from ordinary revenues. Not only that, but also prevents Cuba from negotiating treaties with any other country other than America. The plot amendment restricts Cuba in the conduct of foreign policy and commercial relations. We'll see what will happen with this amendment in the future. Back to you guys.
Gracias, Petra. Thanks for watching. We'll return in a few after these few commercials.
Are you bored?
I'm so bored.
Are you antisocial?
I have no friends.
Do you long to hear voices that aren't in your head?
Absolutely.
We have the product for you.
What's that?
New from Vandelay Industries, here is the radio.
The radio? What's that?
The radio is like having someone to talk to about current events, celebrities, weather, whatever your heart desires.
That's the cat's pajamas.
Have the whole world in your living rooms. Here's an actual customer.
Hi, I'm Peter. I don't get to talk to people because they're close because I sweat a lot. This is actual, and I've only been here for like a half hour. So I like to play with dolls because they're as close to humans as I can get because they're repulsed by me because I sweat a lot. So what happens is, and I have prescription deodorant too. But, so what happens is, I listen to the radio while playing with dolls, because it makes me feel like the dolls are talking to me. So it's like I can have friends, because I don't, because they're repulsed by me because I sweat a lot. Even though I use prescription deodorant, called Hypercare, prescribed by Dr. Fankard. He's over on White Claw. It's right by Wendy's, actually. But, so, I like this radio, even though it's big. I like walking around it too, because it's almost like I'm walking around in an area with other people. Except it's just this doll, which kind of looks like Lauren a little bit. I don't know if you guys get that, but it's fun.
This is so
I'm sweating, so I gotta go. Goodbye.
Where can I purchase the radio?
At Vance Electronics. Buy your radio now.
Yeah.
I sweat a lot.
For staying with Channel 3 News.
No, it's 3.
Three news.
Our next story is covered by Danielle Weiss.
This is Danielle Weiss reporting for Channel 3 News. The KKK has reached an overwhelming membership of over 3 million people here in 1924. Politically influential and mind corrosive, the KKK has once again caused major chaos, this time in the state of Oklahoma, where members burned crosses at the Roman Catholic Church in downtown Tulsa. The police were slow to respond, and amid allegations that several of the sheriff's deputies were none but Klan members themselves. This story is particularly upsetting because less than a week ago, a lynching occurred in the same area. Citizens of Oklahoma are crying out for help, but all they get in return is more terror from the dominating Klan. Someone help. Back to you, Lauren and Rachel.
Thanks, Danielle.
Next we have entertainment with Alexa Gordon.
Thanks, guys. In recent entertainment news, popular actor Charlie Chaplin has won an Academy Award for his newest comedy movie, The Gold Rush. The movie casts Max Swain, Tom Murray, and Georgia Hale. The movie is also produced, directed, and written by Charlie Chaplin himself. In other entertainment news, it is rumored that there is going to be a new film coming out soon. It is to be called Steamboat Willie and stars the popular Mickey Mouse. This film is also rumored to be the first film in which voice is used. It is set to be released by Walt Disney in September of 1928. And for our final entertainment story, the first annual Miss America pageant occurred recently on September 8, 1921, in Atlantic City. The contest consisted of numerous spiffy-looking women competing to become Miss America and receive the grand prize of the famous Golden Mermaid Trophy. The winner of the pageant was Miss Margaret Gorman from Washington, D.C. She said on behalf of the event recently that she never cared to be Miss America. It wasn't my idea. I'm so bored by it all. I really want to forget this whole thing. See you, Lauren and Rachel.